Hey there, Hollywood fans. Welcome to this week's show. So, yeah, it's been a hell of a tough week for everyone out there with the loss of our good friend, Mike Pentecost. It's been a rough one for sure. And as you saw, it hit me pretty hard. It hit the community very hard. Thanks for all the messages of support. And yeah, it's every day is just going to get a little bit easier, but for now it's still a bit tough. This was what went down in the morning, where we covered the racing for the quads and the juniors. I hope you guys enjoy this part of the show. And then when we finished with the quads and the juniors, we're going to be doing a memorial edit for Mikey. So this is just our bits of memories that we can share and keep his memory alive. So for now, just enjoy the quads and the juniors, and after the quads and juniors, we'll remember Mike and give him as much support and send it all out to the family. But just here's what went down.
Halfway marker of the season on the GXCCs, 4 rounds of an 8-round championship, and back to the classic race venue and the winter venue of Radium. So here we are at the halfway marker of the 2024 GXCC Championship, and we're back at Radium, but we're hearing it's going to be a slightly different story. Vian, well done to you and the boys, as always.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's chilly out here this morning. I looked at the temperature, it was just over 1 degree Celsius a few minutes ago, but it'll warm up nicely. I'm looking forward to today.
And you've been out on the farm for a while. What has the conditions been like for the last few weeks?
Cold, but everything has just been smooth. Really good terrain to work with. Next year we'll be able to even change the track again and put some other new sections in, because the farmer next door opened up his land to us and said, please, I love biking, let's come and race on my farm as well. So some good opportunities for the years to come.
In the build-up in the morning session, obviously the quad situation is super tight at the top of the charts in the Q1s with a 2-horse race battle, and in the juniors, very close numbers as we hit the halfway marker of the season.
No, it's very cold. It's going to be slippery the first lap. Just going to get out in this track safely, and I'm going to hold my place and just have a fun day.
I think it's going to be hard pack, slippery. The grass is very wet because it was cold this morning. Yeah.
I expect the race to be very fun. I expected the course to get quite bumpy, and yeah, I just think it's going to be quite cold, and I just think it's going to be a fun race. I'm excited for it. That's the aim, but yeah, it's going to be difficult today, and I have to work for it, but may the best man win.
Yeah, it's really cold this morning. My toes are freezing. Yeah, but I'm excited for the track. I think it's going to be a lot of dust, so just try and keep my nose clean. Yeah, the rest of the season I have to get podium, otherwise the championship's gone.
Radium is not my favorite, but it's going to be awesome. I just love being on the bike. It's going to be awesome. I think so.
Ek verwag dit gaan 'n lekker baan wees, baie stof en lekker koud in die begin. Maar ja, gaan maar net uitgaan om kop te hou en ja, met te geniet. Dit is maar waar 'n dag vir my gaan.
Yeah, no, it's cold. I checked on my bakkies temp. It was -1 a little bit earlier, so it just went before the sun came up. So yeah, it's going to be dusty. I mean, we saw when we came in, very dusty. So, but dusty for everybody. So we'll take it as it comes. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, no, these youngsters can go, but we'll give it a shot. Give it our best, and yeah, let's get home safe and just enjoy.
Ja, die kampioenskap is baie tyd vir die laaste reis. Ek dink vandag gaan baie lekker wees, gaan lekker tyd wees, ook lekker vinnig. Dit is bietjie koud vanmôre, maar ek dink later gaan dit lekker beter word en ja, ons gaan geniet vandag. En ek dink vandag gaan baie lekker wees. Is 2 punte dat hy verskil op die klap. So ja, ek dink vandag gaan baie lekker wees. Ek wil net baie dankie sê vir almal wat my support, almal wat my help. Dankie vir Boesman, dankie vir al die effort wat Boesman vir my ingesit het en baie dankie vir al die help.
Everyone always looking forward to Radium. The quads know they're in for a heck of a day. And for the juniors, exciting times as the championship starts to pick up pace. First gates going out onto the big 52k course would be the Q1s, where all eyes would be on Franco and Gnarly Carly. As always, little Franco getting the drop on the rest of the field. One or two riders stalling out. Carly going out, but suffering mechanicals early on the machine that has taken her to run close in the championship battle. The Q1s opened up the course. Q2s, Hunter Simon, normally on the Screaming Banshee, but for this run, he broke out a different weapon. The classic hybrid built around the Raptor frame. He would have clear air. On the Quad Masters, Vickers Pretorius, an absolute rocket ship off the line. By my count, that is 4 hole shots on a 4-round championship so far. He would run clear air and try and chase up to the back wheel of some of the bigger gates up the road. On the veterans class, Barney Barnard, gloveless as always. It doesn't matter about the cold or the thorny terrain. Himself and Darby DeVette would be elbows up going out onto the course. For the ladies, formation flying for Nicole and Liesel Barnard. Championship dice is definitely on. They knew that they were going to be out there on the big dogs. 4x4 Can-Ams in the choppy, whoopy terrain of Radium. That was the big course. We went back onto the line to pick up on the junior categories, where you're seeing one of the closest dices in the last few seasons. Senior 85's Double D's, Rickers van der Merwe and Derek van Aspergen, as always, right at the sharp end of the field, with the rest of a 20-strong rider gate doing the chase down. Same for the junior 85s, where Geir Kutsia is making a name for himself. Sparky getting the Bikers Warehouse Husky off into clear air early on to give himself a strong chance on the day. Alexander Nemeth on the Pro 65s doing a good job of work, with Declan Richards and Trav Levy coming off a great win the previous weekend on the Africa Off-Roads. And then the 50cc's, Rogan Matthews and Eben Skoltz elbows up as they chased out on the 50cc's to see what they could do. Tell me about the morning session. Let's start with the juniors.
Juniors, last year we had a couple of sections that was quite fast around.
I remember, just out the back here, yeah.
So we've cut that out completely. We're keeping them tight and twisty through the bushveld, a little bit of thick sand, slightly longer track than usual, a good 18 kilometers track. So, and because it's so tight and twisty, I don't think we're going to see times under 24 minutes.
You've been surprised at the 85 pros they've been pinning this year.
I know, but this is tight. This is tight.
Okay. Let's go out on the course then and pick up on our junior category races, where they were out there spinning the laps. Tight and technical, pretty much no straights for these guys. So a lot of bike handling and strategy coming into play at this round. Little Blake Kruger having his problems on the day, dropping down to number 5 this time on the 50cc's, with Cameron Hine up there into a number 4, and Bernie Looknote into a number 3. As always, the top 2 running the big laps. Fastest lap times as well, and over 2 hours in the saddle for Eben Skoltz on the Spherical Logistics gas machine in the number 2 spot, and Rogan Matthews taking yet another win on the 50s. Clear air all day to the flag. On the 65cc's, going to be an interesting championship. Definitely no firm favorites at the moment. Good numbers on the page for everyone inside of the top 6. 8th place out at Radium, going to Julian Vanderberg as he chased up onto the back wheel of Lincoln Deister. Deister starting to look nice and tasty. Comfortable with the racing format of the GXCCs. Sebastian Nell, one of the riders that moved up from the 50cc's, still cutting his teeth on the 65cc gate, understanding how to get the best out of himself. Nell up the road into a number 6. Breaking their way inside of the top 5, Alman Brutzer, riding out of Gravity Racing. He's done a great job of work in the last few seasons, working with the team, having great support. Number 5, he'll be happy with that. Up the road into a number 4, one of the stars of the second half of last season on the 50cc gate, Kellen Deventer, number 4 spot. Won't be long until we see this kid climb all the way to the tippy's top. Just trying to figure out the 65cc machine at the moment. Trav Levy on a bit of a burner at the moment on the Moto Klerksdorp Yami 65, coming off a race win just 1 week previously up at the Africa Off-Roads. So he is riding the crest of a wave. Third place will probably move him up inside of the top 3 for the championship as well. Good gate. Alexander Nemeth getting a whole shot and only losing 1 position. But with that, also over 10 minutes was the loss to the superstar that is Declan Richards. Not the fastest gate, but he climbed the ladder, made the passes early on lap number 1 to get the cheese once again on the 65cc gate. Tleko Setomi gets us going on the stacked gate that is the 85cc juniors. 8th place for him, also starting to get nice and comfortable with the racing terrain. Remember, the guys coming across the borders from Lesotho and Botswana always look forward to Radium. Very much reminds them of home. Ewan Fourie up the road in a number 7. Vilko Deploy would have been happy enough with a number 6, but a bad gate dropping him down. He would have liked to have run inside of the top 3 at least. We'll see Vilko start to climb the ladder a little bit later on. Tekang Marahi, solid as always inside of a number 5. One of the most exciting and aggressive riders to watch out there on the track on his Husqvarna. 5th place. Good numbers. Jay Eels up the road into a number 4. Jay's been working hard on the setup on his machine as well. Also one of the kids that's starting to age out ever so slightly, looking forward to moving up into the senior 85s. Juan Agostini, 3rd place, and definitely a championship man to watch out for as we go forward into the second half of the season. Eli Young, the Youngs are now dominating in the GXCCs with brothers racing across the junior and 2 of the senior categories at the moment. Young in the number 2 spot, but Liam Skippers, Mullet Man, once again, hammers the nail. He is a dominant force on the junior 85s in 2024. Next season, this is who he's going to be up against. The big swingers in the 85 pros, the guys that go out there and set the track on fire with the big laps. Bryson Deister, the older brother of the Deister clan, getting up there into a number 8. Ratabetsi Ompaboli waving the flag nicely up there to a number 7. Good lap times as well. And when you look at the splits, he was only 2 minutes off climbing his way into the coveted top 6. Dylan Besadenhout taking that honor with a race time of 2 hours and 21. Hanyu de Kock absolutely flying this season, but a bad gate. And he could only climb the ladder up to a number 5. But he was running some eye-wateringly fast lap times out here at one of his favorite tracks in Radium. Quick look across to the man that he was chasing down. That was Corbin Miller. Miller, consistent and solid, always inside of the top 5. 4th place this time around, and only 2 minutes off the top steps. Lovely technical terrain and a lovely snaking twister of a track that Björn laid out for the kids, giving them some big challenges. All the kids said they were busy working hard all day long on the brakes and on the gas. Jaden Els walking away with a number 3 spot, and as always, the 2-horse battle that has been going strong the whole way through 2024 between Derek van Osbergen and Drickus van der Merwe. One small mistake from Derek this time, and the gap was pulled. Drickus van der Merwe eventually walking away with a 1-minute victory on the VW Mastercars Hatfield machine. This dice has only just begun as we head now into the second half of the tour. Drickus takes the checkers once again.
Drickus, you and Derek as always, eh? Tell me about your day.
Yeah, it was a fun day. It was tight and twisty, and me and Derek had a dice in the beginning. He overshot a corner, and then I saw my gap and passed.
Tell me about the track. Vian's always trying to give you guys something a little bit different. Was it tighter and slower this time?
It was very tight this time, very slower. The dust was hectic. Yeah, there was actually no straights and stuff, so I prefer the turns and stuff, so it was lekker.
Halfway through the season, what have you got for us in the second half?
I'm feeling good about the second half of the season. The bad luck's stepping down now, so hopefully I can come back with a bang.
Double D show once again. You and Drickus, tell me about your one.
Yeah, mine, it was alright. I had a few sketchy moments. I didn't fall, but I got hurt somehow, so I don't know, it just wasn't my day today, and next time I'll get it.
Drickus said you had a big overshoot. Are you okay from that one?
Yeah, I'm fine. I didn't really have an overshoot, but yeah, just messing up corners and stuff. So
You heard my brief this morning. It's halfway through the season, so for you and Drickus, it's getting very close now.
yeah, it's getting very close. It's still going to be a very difficult season to come, and then just hope for the best.
The Double Ds are keeping us on our toes in the championship. This time, Drickus on the top step, putting just over a minute into Van Asweken. Els, Muller, De Kock, Besadenhout, Umpaboli and Deister. But what a story for the Double Ds. What a championship. 85cc juniors, Liam Schippers, all but dominating this category, and look at the time gaps as well, putting 30 minutes into his closest rival. Eli Young starts to show us what he is made of. Second place, his best ride on the GXCC so far, beating out on Agostini. 65cc pros, Declan Richards needs to work on his starts, but there's nothing wrong with his race pace as he ploughed the field and put big time into Nemeth, Levy, Deventer, Buerta, Nel, Deister and Vanderberg. And on the 50cc gates, remember the name of Rogan Matthews, very solid and consistent as always, and a relatively big, almost 13-minute gap ahead of Eben Scotts. Then Blicknot, Hein and Kruger take us to the end of the gate. Junior category done and dusted. Focusing in now on the quads.
And then let's talk about the quad loop. We're expecting you to say a number around about 50.
Got a surprise. It's just over 52.
Okay.
Yeah, so nice 52k loop for the guys. Brand new section on the other side of the farm that we've never raced on before. So we've made the sand section a little bit shorter. It used to be about 27 kilometers of thick sand. It's down to about 15 now.
Okay.
So yeah, just to spare the guys, I know it does take all your energy out of you when it gets hooped out and so on. But yeah, we made it a little bit shorter. New section, tight and twisty, fast and flowy, hard pack, grass, everything that you can expect. Just no mud.
No mud at all. We do always look forward to heading out into the Bella Bella area, the classic race venue of Radium. For the ladies, Liesel Simon was out there. She got 2 laps under her belt with a full race time of 2 hours and 56 minutes. But I tell you what, every single lap and every single kilometer you are out there at Radium, you feel it and you know about it. It is a punishing terrain, but also why everyone likes to come out and get the job done here. Beyond removing some of the big choppy sections, but still the sand and the roost making riders suffer in a strong way. Nicole Barnard losing 1 position from her incredible strong gait, only getting 2 laps under her belt. Kali van Staden, the most consistent rider out there on the ladies gate at the moment, with a number 2 spot, and she stayed on the lead lap, but she had to take a beating once again from the multiple champion Liesel Barnard. Barnard getting 3 laps under her belt in 3 hours and 11 minutes to extend at the top of the charts. On the quad veterans, modest numbers this time around, but it didn't take anything away from the incredible racing. Peter Besadenhout down there in the number 4 spot, just 1 lap under his belt. Davy de Vet stayed out there for the full duration on the lead lap with 3 laps counted and scored. Lost out by a chunk of time to Tony DeSantos. Tony's looking very solid this season, riding out there on the big Raptor, number 2 spot for him. He wasn't too far off the race win, but Barney Barnard has made this track his own. The gloveless wonder on the big 4x4. Says the thorns weren't as bad this year, so didn't lose as much skin off the top of his knuckles. But he is now light years ahead in the championship challenge as he takes another win at round number 4. For the Quad Masters, can you hear the drums? Fernando suffering some issues on his machine. The DeSanti having some problems down there in a number 7. With Bernardo Fivas suffering some punches on the day, that also dropped him down to 6th place with only 2 laps under his belt. Darren Moyle, the stocker, was out there. This is a tough day in the saddle for a machine that is down on suspension and the wide track as well. But Moyle is a championship player. He brings it home and sees the checkered flag every single time, and he did stay on the lead lap as well to score numbers inside of a number 5. Karamba Jabi, his best ride of the season. He definitely loved the racing terrain out here at Radium. 4th place showing that he is going to be a name to watch out for as we go forward into the rest season. Definitely a sandmaster as he showed his good pace and good numbers. He was around about 8 minutes off the back wheel of Victor Pretorius, who once again is starting to look incredibly strong as he gets his head around the LTR. He's got a good setup on the machine. Third place keeps him in the championship hunt. Roxy DeSantos, rock solid is the Rocks. Only missing out on the win this time by just under 4 minutes. So the DeSanti coming in strong as always in 2024. Not too far off the win. Just couldn't get that gap going in the early laps where he was in the dust of Vickers Pretorius. Pretorius, so good off the gate, and he's starting to put together the whole package as well. Whole shots all the way through the season. Now starting to taste and get a real flavor for the top step of the podium. This win will see him really improve on his numbers. Henny Macau Jr. only getting 1 lap under his belt, and then a surprise situation where Hannes Simon also fell out of the lead lap, only getting 3 laps under his belt on the big hybrid. Second place, but that should still keep him in the lead for the championship. But that means we've got a new man on the top step, Darby Van Staden, switching up between the 4x4 and the big Raptor, the tallest dude out there on the quad scene at the moment. 4 laps scored and counted, and a new name at the top step. Welcome to the winner's circle, Darby. The Q1's Gnarly Carly had a mechanical early on, dropping her down to 7th place, but she did roll off the line, so this is going to have to be her throwaway, her bogey event. But the championship is going to get tight as well, because Franco Pretorius also suffered his issues, falling out of the lead lap. Only 3 laps scored and counted, and a 5th place finish. So that's one of his roughest rides of the season. Ruben Fenter was just behind him in a number 6 place. That meant the top 4 was going to have a completely different look and feel this time around. Sean Kutzer, after moving across onto his brother's bike in the early part of the season and hanging up the KTM, seems like he's finally figured out how to get the best out of the Honda in a number 4 spot. Kobus Knotzer, solid ride for him in a number 3 spot, and one of the last riders to fall out of the lead lap. 3rd place, 3 laps counted and scored. 2 hours 57 on the scorecard for him. That meant that Francois Smallberger Sr. had one of his best days at the office. This ride will see him challenge the might of Franco and Carly and put his name in the hat as it becomes now a 3-horse race. Francois Smallberger, 2nd place, his best ride of the season so far, and agonizingly close to a win as well. Just 1 minute 30 seconds off the back wheel of Tiaan Wolfart. Big story on the day as well, Wolfart actually stalling on the line and having to plow the entire field on the fast KTM. What a story, and a new man on the top step, a new name in the hat.
Franco, we knew coming into this round it was a very important one for the championship, but you've got a story to tell.
Ja nee, ek moes regtig hierdie reis moes dit opgemaak het, maar vandag tweede lap het my agtersok gegaan. En toe het die ketting bly afgooi en toe ek maar net terugbring huis toe. So ek het daarom 3 laps gedoen, so hopelik help dit my daarom so 'n bietjie.
So you and Carly, we take it to round number 5, eh?
Ja nee, nou is dit vir die volgende round. Ek hoop dit gaan nou beter gaan. Ek hoop die bad luck kan nou ophou. Maar vandag was daarom lekker geweest. Die baan was spyk geweest. Die eerste lap baie lekker gery, is net door die shock gegaan het, maar verder was alles mooi geweest.
And it's a bit of a painful one because this is one of your favorite tracks, I know.
Ja, nee, hierdie was regtig baie lekker baan. Maar dis een van die dinge, is deel van die sport, dus om maar deur te trek en weer terugkom.
As always, round number 4, a bit of a decider. We look forward to round number 5 as the championship really sparks into life. Wolfart, a new man on the top step. Welcome to the winner's circle for him. Smallberger, Knotzer, Kutzer, Pretorius, Fenter, and Simon. This is going to be a nail-biter for the rest of the season now. In the Q2s, Darby Van Staden also continues the theme of Radium on the quads, where we saw new winners. Darby getting his big win charge going ahead of Simon and Macau. Some very tough competitors as well. Quad Masters, Vickers Pretorius puts the perfect day together. Great setup, great hole shot, perfect laps, and he was gone. But Roxy DeSantos was in close attendance in 2nd place, beating out on Pretorius, Jarby, Moyle, Fivas, and Fernando. Unfortunately, problems on lap number 1 for Fernando. The quad veterans, Bonnie Barnard, hammering the nail, putting the big hurt on Tony DeSantos and Davy De Wet, but they did all stay on the lead lap with 3 laps under their belt, with Peter Besadenhout only scoring the 1 lap down in 4th place. For the quad ladies, the Barnards are absolutely dominating the sport, but the silent assassin that is Carly Van Staden in 2nd place, just behind Liesel, and splitting the Barnards with Nicole in 3rd and Liesel Simon 2 laps under her belt, scoring 4th. New blood on the OR1 Championship for the GXCCs. Mike Pentecost is out in front for now.
I've got to thank everyone, the pit crew, my wife, my dad. Yeah, big thanks to, the team and Harry and my wife and everyone on board. And then also big thanks to the team. Thanks to everyone for all the help, our team for all the support. And at the end of the day, we are here for the jewel. And that's what I had today as our ultimate jewel. I'd like to give a big thanks to my team. And everyone in the pits. My wife, she's amazing. She's on it. She's got the goose ready. She's got everything ready, goggles. And today was testing, so big shout out to the guys in the pits and Harry and Honda and the whole squad. It's been amazing.